So we are waiting for it. Another winter storm of sorts will move through Greensboro this weekend. Why? This could be the biggest one we've had in a while.
It's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, people all over Greensboro have started prepping for the storm, what you need to know, and the tricks to stay warm. Of course, road conditions could get dangerous. What to do if you find yourself out on the roads in icy conditions. And rain, sleet, snow, our weather says it's going to get messy this weekend. It's still too early for a precise forecast of exactly what is going to happen, but we continue to get a better sense of what you should and could expect. We want to take a quick look at what we know right now. Our weather team is expecting a strong winter storm to hit Sunday. They expect possibly snow first, then a mix of sleet and freezing rain later on. They say that you should expect travel issues because of road conditions. Power outages could happen depending on how much ice that we see. So what we want to do is we want to bring in meteorologist Monique Robinson for a more detailed look at the forecast. Again, a few days out.
Well, Tanya, like you said, today is a Wednesday. We got to get through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Also, this system, this area of low pressure well off the west coast needs to make its way on land, then cross the nation and to the southeast, and then potentially bring us some moisture to make this wintry weather. Now, like I said, the timing of it still days out. We're still within the 3 to 5 day time frame, which means we kind of know what kind of storm we could expect to see, but the fine-tuned details. Folks asking, how much snow will I get in my backyard? Well, I can't quite answer that question. As we get closer towards the weekend, I'll have a better idea, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
All right, yeah, let's talk about that, because I think a lot of times people think they're holding out on us, they really know what's happening, and that is so not what's happening.
Sometimes coworkers ask me, like, what do you really think? It's like, well, I'm not holding out on you either. Here's the deal. You know, exactly how many inches, how much ice, all of that, sure, that's hard. The easy part right now is I can tell you Sunday is going to be really messy.
Yeah.
And if you try and drive down the street, you might have a really hard time doing it. That's easy.
And we're talking about all day Sunday. So
Yep.
that is something that you can count on for sure. All day Sunday, it's just going to be messy.
Very messy and potentially dangerous too. You know, Monique, we've been talking about the different types of precipitation. I have this chart behind us that kind of shows all the differences. We have this thin layer of warm air that really could change things from snow in the morning to sleet and then freezing rain by the afternoon.
Yeah, it could be confusing for folks at times, but if you take it like a slice of cake in the atmosphere, you have layers to your cake, there's layers to the atmosphere.
Okay.
If it's warm at the bottom but cold on the top, we could see some sleet. If that layer of warm air is really small, we could see freezing rain. So it makes it just really confusing as a meteorologist.
But the bottom line is this, you're going to get some snow to start. It'll add up to a certain amount, I'm not sure exactly how many inches, but some, and then it's going to get messier. And that when you melt a snowflake in the air, you can never get it back. You can never get a snowflake back. It's melted, and then you can maybe make it into an ice ball, or it either freezes on your car and on your trees. That's what we want to avoid. The freezing rain is the bad part. We could get that on Sunday afternoon. Sleet, that's actually manageable to an extent. So we're hoping we get more of the sleet and less of the ice, because we don't want an ice storm.
Right, but you have no control over what we're going to get. You just have to read the models and then figure it out.
It's going to be a big deal either way.
Yeah,
It's
all
gonna
right.
be a big deal.
So still a lot to figure out for this weekend's forecast. It's clear you should be preparing yourself, right? Ace Hardware says you should be stocking up on items to get you through whatever lies ahead. Make sure you have a first aid kit. You want some battery-powered radios. You want some flashlights. Ace Hardware says to have a 3-day supply of non-perishable food and water. You'll also want to charge your devices before the storm comes in case you lose power. You know, we saw thousands lose power in the last winter storm. This weekend's is expected to possibly do more damage than that. 2 Wants to Know's Ben Briscoe digs into how you can get through the cold if you lose power.
The lights are out, it's time to hunker down. The first thing you want to do is put towels along the bottom of all the doors and windows to keep cold air from sneaking in. Then make sure every door in the house is closed. Next, it's time to pick your command center for the storm. Try to pick a bedroom with the fewest walls to the outside and windows. And speaking of those windows, during the day you'll want the blinds up and open to let in as much sunlight as possible. But at night, cover the window with a towel or blanket. For extra warmth, set up a tent inside the room. A blanket fort can work too. That smaller area helps lock in your body heat. And you can do that with clothing also. You'll want at least 3 layers, an outer coat, a sweater, and an inner base like an undershirt and long johns. Avoid cotton for this base because it will soak up your sweat and make you more cold. And make sure to avoid alcohol. It might make you flush, but it really lowers your body temperature and impairs your ability to shiver, which is one of the best ways your body has to warm itself up. Ben Briscoe, 2 wants to know.
Yeah, what you do before a storm hits is important. We spoke with a heating company in Greensboro. He says you want to make sure that your home is winter ready. That means right now, making sure that you've changed your HVAC filters, double checking your attic and your crawl space to make sure everything is okay. And that will help protect your pipes from the cold weather as well. It will also keep your house warm and can keep your heating bill down to make sure if everything is in place as it should be. In the last storm, we all saw all kinds of videos and pictures of cars just lined up for miles and stuck in a winter storm on I-95. No one wants to think that it can happen to them. One Triad woman says it happened to her husband, though, right here in Greensboro.
I got a call about 10:15 last night. My husband was on his way home from work, and he says, my car just died.
Yeah, she says it took her 40 minutes to get to him. She's glad that she had a coat in the trunk that he could use in the meantime. A coat is just one thing Consumer Reports says you need in your emergency car kit. They say that you need to have a basic first aid kit, a snow scraper, a shovel, along with maybe some jumper cables and a flashlight as well. Well, driving in the snow can get tricky and can just get flat out dangerous. We don't have to do it all that often. So here's a 2 wants to know refresher. It might tempt you, but do not drive with your hazards on. Your turn signals do not work when you're driving with your hazard lights. That can make changing lanes challenging and can cause accidents. You do want to keep your headlights on if you're using your windshield wipers, and it will help you see, and that of course is state law. AAA says your best bet is to just stay home if you can when conditions get icy or slick. So what you wear can make a big difference when it comes to staying warm. We verified a viewer question about what they should be wearing. I learned it definitely should not be cotton. Our verified sources are a textile expert and a running specialist.
Cotton is a thermal conductor. That means it releases your body heat. In the wintertime, you need something that's a thermal retainer holding on to your body heat. Poly or wool or nylon will hang on to that heat, which is really essential when we're in very cold temperatures.
If you wear cotton, then that's just going to stick to you, and then when you get, then the cold air is just going to make it cold. So you're going to stay cold, where moisture wicking is going to pull the sweat away and keep you drier and keep you warmer.
Our experts say that's because cotton comes from the ground and has a cellulose fiber, which makes it super absorbent. Polyester, on the other hand, is synthetic, made from plastic and coal, and is great at wicking moisture. Hypothermia can happen when your clothes aren't warm enough or when they're wet, like with sweat, according to the Mayo Clinic. So we're verifying wearing cotton can increase your chances of developing hypothermia in the cold weather. That's right, so don't be layering with a t-shirt as your first layer. That is not a good thing. You know, the big takeaway from all of this is that we all need to be prepared. Nobody wants to be caught powerless in a storm and have no clue of what to do. We want to get ahead of it now.